This segment is to deal with special options we provide for the Drago corn head. At Drago Tech USA, we are continuously innovating options that can help the farmer harvest his corn in unique harvest situations. We deal with operators and farmers all the way from Texas to Canada to the West Coast to the East Coast. Every year we can run into different weather conditions and harvest conditions that can put challenges for that operator. What we'd like to show you is some options that can really help you solve and improve that harvesting in those unique situations. Thank you. As a farmer myself, I understand that down corn happens. You know, the Drago corn head's a great corn head, be able to pick up that down corn, aggressive gather and change, but there's times that you need more. This option is a full-length down corn auger. What's unique about this auger, it's built with very durable poly. It's got an internal metal skeleton to give it tremendous strength. But it starts to pick the corn up immediately at the tip of the snoot, lifting it up and over to get it to go into the row unit. It comes in our standard charcoal gray, and for special order, we can do green and red. It has a unique suspension system that takes the weight off the point. It's adjustable. It's hydraulic drive, variable drive, that you can set from the cab. This down corn auger is designed to go specifically on the Drago. It bolts easily to the back of the frame. It has simple adjustments to be able to adjust the auger left to right, up and down to match the conditions that you run into for that situation. What's included with this kit is the auger, a left or right lateral bonnet, hydraulic motor, all the hydraulic hoses. There's also quick couplers, single point attachments to match up to your combine. We try to make this as much of a turnkey system as possible to help you out when you're having that difficult year with down corn. The advantages of a full-length auger over just a short side auger is that it starts to lift the crop at the point, continuously lifting it, but moving it over to the side, over the top of the corn head to get the corn in the corn head. We all know down corn happens. We hope you don't have that problem, but just know that we do have a solution to help you through that difficult harvest. Now I want to talk to you about something that's starting to happen more and more as we see the genetics today that we're harvesting being harvested sometimes earlier or in environments that are warmer and drier than maybe what we've seen in the past. I want to talk to you about what some people call fluff. When do we see the fluff conditions the most? Higher temperature, lower humidity, sometimes mostly in the afternoon, sometimes just a short window. You know, for years we've struggled on how do we deal with fluff. With the hydraulic deck plates, what do? The operator tends to open up the deck plate. That opens up the door to yield loss. The Drago corn head got a great rolled edge on the deck plate, reduces that leaf breakage, but still we can deal with fluff. We've come up with an option here that I think is extremely unique. It's a flexible finger, mounts right to the auger, comes around, simply knocks that fluff down and incorporates it starting on the outside row and eliminating it from building up and moving into the center. At that point, the fluff material, it's light, it's brittle, it just disappears. With one bolt, we attach the finger and the bracket to the auger drum. The bracket also has a handy little hold down bracket for when not in use, you can tuck the finger back behind the flighting, reducing any wear, unnecessary wear in conditions where you don't have that problem. Starting in 2012, all the rim nuts are going to be put in at the factory, which will make installation much simpler. But for the older Dragos that don't have the rim nut installed at the factory, we provide a kit. That kit provides you the drill bit, the tools to install the rim nut, and can be added to any Drago of any age. Well, we've been covering things that happen in dry corn conditions. We talked about the fluff, the light leaf material in drier conditions. Also now I'd like to talk to you about the actual ear corn becoming very dry and that transfer of that down the auger and up into the feeder house. Corn, when it gets dry, the surface gets much slicker. This makes it much more difficult for the feeder house to take the corn away from the auger and take it up a steep incline called the feeder house. Now remember when we harvested corn that was 28%, we put it in a grain bin. You'd crawl up in that grain bin, you could walk on it like a sidewalk. When the corn was dry in that grain bin, you'd sink into your knees. That's because the surface of corn gets drier, it gets slicker. Same way with 2 ears of corn. They don't push each other as efficiently as when it's wet. That's why we've created a dry corn kit that's going to be standard on all 012 corn heads, but comes in a kit for any older corn heads. Very simply, we're attaching a very flexible but durable paddle, but at a different angle. Instead of a 90-degree angle, we're going to attach it in a tangent position, and as that paddle goes around, it bends back as it starts to incorporate the corn. When it's bending back, it's storing energy. When it gets to the feeder house opening, it releases that energy and pushes that ear corn in. It actually starts to try to force feed that feeder house when that feeder house doesn't want to take the corn away. Also included in the kit is a hood. Very simply, 4 bolts that attach to the corn head. It's there to restrict any ear loss in case the feeder house is backfeeding. Now let's take a look at what you're going to get in the dry corn kit. You get your instructions on how to mount. Get 2 paddles, 2 straps, a hardware kit that includes, again, proper drill bit, installation tool, rim nuts, and bolts, and plus the hood. This tall corn shield option actually does 2 things. Does a great job of protecting the ear from being lost way down here by the snoot, let alone clear up on the side. It's adjustable for height. But another feature that is overlooked a lot of times is that in intermittent down corn, when we have a few corn stalks that are laying over, this actually works extremely well to start lifting and standing that corn stalk up, so it's more likely to go into the corn head than to be lost over the side or hung up and lay over the lateral bonnet. Many of our competitors offer a tall corn attachment, but theirs starts clear back here, doesn't protect the ear down low, and is too abrupt of an angle, which can restrict it in bringing up any down corn that is hanging over the side of the corn head. Also, this option comes in 3 colors, red, green, and black. If you're having problems losing a few ears over the side, this is a great solution to that problem. Here at Drago USA, we're very proud of the Drago corn head's ability to offer a lot of flexibility in residue sizing. Starting with a great knife roller head to chew up the corn stalks, to be able to offer you to be able to add the chopper later. You can buy the head with or without the chopper from the factory. If you want to add it later, it's just simply 4 bolts, remove a plate, 4 bolts, add the chopper. With the Drago chopper, The taller the corn stalks, the bigger the stalks, the better it chops. But sometimes the toughest stalk to chop is not the biggest. It's sometimes a smaller plant that's been through some stress. It can get leathery, ropey, hard to chop. Here are some extra options we can add to the chopper to overcome some of them factors and to improve the chopping quality to meet your needs. First, our stationary knife, a single stationary knife, been around quite a while. What that can do for you is add a little more cutting edge. As the stalk bends over, catches that edge, gives you a little bit more chopping quality. It's simple, a little bit more horsepower, but probably one of our oldest options we've had. The next level in residue sizing we offer has been around a little bit longer than the stationary knife, and it's something we call the Turbo Chop Shield, which really incorporates both the single stationary knife and a half moon shield to hold the plant material in the chopping area longer to give you more residue sizing. Our latest option that we are just releasing is called the Double Cut Stationary Knife. Why we're able to do this option is because of the unique position of the chopper gearbox on the Drago. Remember, it's centrally located straight behind the stock roller. That means as the front blade is swinging, it gets a chance to chop, and we get a second chance to chop on the rear swing. Now what we've done is added a front stationary knife, but using sickle sections that add another level of shredding to the stationary knife. That means as the chopper blade comes around on that leathery stalk that tries to bend away, it's caught in the jaws of the sickle section and chewed up and shredded. And then, again, as the stalk is going through, if we have a straggler, the rear stationary knife has another chance to clean that straggler up to give you that even, crisp look of a chop field. There you have it. 3 more options for flexibility to offer you the best residue sizing you need for your farm. And the Drago corn head, with its chopper and its options, is the best corn head in the world to give you the chopping job you want and not risk yield. Here's an option that was really developed for people with irrigated corn. In irrigated corn, you have tire tracks that really develop a bit of a rut, and we need something really to help support that snoot, the point of the snoot, to bridge and jump over that rut. Of course, the standard Drago has a very small, simple bubble tip on each snoot. What we've developed here is simply a very long and extended bubble tip to help support and bridge and support and keep that point away from that tire rut, get it over it, so you have less buckling problems in the field. At Dragotech USA, we're constantly working on innovations to maximize the corn head performance in a wide range of conditions that might come from year to year. All these options are available at your Drago dealer.
That's my Drago.